Hey everyone, it's Erin. Welcome to your Friday night Yin Flow. We will get started tonight on our backs. So, coming to supine position, we're going to have knees bent and feet out about mat width so that knees can fall in together and rest against one another. Arms can come out long alongside you or rest on the body. For constructive rest pose, this is a great shape for facilitating release and relaxation in the lower back, which is the area that we're focusing on tonight. Gently closing the eyes or taking a soft gaze up at the ceiling. And just beginning to tune into the breath and allowing it to take whatever form naturally comes today. Beginning to notice sensations in the body, feeling where your body connects to the floor and to your mat. Feeling of your clothes against your skin. And the feeling of air gently brushing past your lips or nostrils as you inhale and exhale. Noticing any sounds that you can hear from the space you're in. Maybe there's something in the room with you that's making a sound. Maybe there's something coming in from outside. Whatever it is, just observing it and allowing it to be there with you. And begin to deepen the breath, sealing the lips, drawing inhales and exhales through the nose to a count of 4 as you breathe in, and a count of 4 as you breathe out. Remembering that your breath is the most important tool you have in your yoga practice. and letting your breath guide you through your movement rather than letting the movement shape or guide your breath. And if you would like now, you can gently blink eyes back open, letting the light and colors of the room come back into your vision. And we'll bring arms out to a T and separate knees out. And just start to take some gentle windshield wipers with the knees. Letting this be a pretty slow movement. Next time your knees fall over to the right, letting them stay there. Gaze can stay up towards the ceiling or fall over left shoulder. Then inhale, we'll come back through center. And then exhale, knees over to the left. Option to take gaze over to the right. Inhaling back to center. We'll bring feet in a little bit closer together, about hip width distance, and bring heels in pretty close to the body here. Arms will come out long next to your torso. We'll do just a few dynamic bridges to start here. And we're really going to focus on squeezing our glute muscles rather than trying to press our hips up as high as we can. So if you really focus on engaging the backs of the legs, you might not get up as high with your hips as you normally would, but that's okay. And inhale, we'll lift hips, squeezing back to the legs. Exhale to roll spine back down to the floor. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Do one more like that. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Next, we're going to do just one leg at a time. So we'll lift right or left foot off the floor, keeping knee bent at a 90-degree angle. Right sole of the foot stays planted. Arms will stay long alongside us, and we'll inhale to press through that right heel, lift the hips. This will be a little bit harder. And exhale to lower. Do two more on this side. Inhale to lift, squeezing those glutes. Exhale to lower, rolling the spine back down. One vertebrae at a time. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. We'll switch off the legs, so left sole of the foot plants. Right knee comes up. We'll inhale to press through left heel and lift. Exhale to lower. Two more just like that. At your own pace. Exhale to lower, and then you can release both feet down. And we'll roll ourselves up to a seated position, however you would like. And let's come up to a seat. We're going to stack right shin on top of left, coming into fire log pose. So the whole right shin is on top of the left shin. And you should feel this in the right outer hip. We'll inhale to find length in the spine here. And exhale. Next inhale, we'll circle arms up overhead. Exhale, left hand plants, right arm comes up and over, opening up the right side body. Couple of breaths here. Inhale to lengthen through right arm. Exhale, flip right palm up to face the ceiling and start to slowly circle that arm down towards the ground. Really take this nice and slow, letting your gaze start to shift towards the floor. Feel a nice opening through the neck here. And we'll inhale to bring the right fingertips back up and over. Gaze comes back up towards the ceiling. Exhale, plant right hand alongside left. Into a gentle twist. Inhale to lift and lengthen. And then exhale to walk hands back through center. And back up to a seated position. And we'll switch out the legs. The left shin comes on top. And we'll just take a moment to settle in to our fire log shape for our breath here. And then we'll inhale, arms up overhead. And exhale over to the right. Left fingertips come up and over, reaching out long. One more breath here. And then exhale to flip that left palm up towards the ceiling and then start to trace fingertips out and down. Gaze comes down towards the floor. Nice and slow. And when you've made a full arc on your inhale, we'll reach back up and over with left fingertips. Gaze back up towards the ceiling. And exhale to plant that left hand alongside right. Inhale to lift and lengthen through your twist. And then exhale to walk hands back through center, moving through a little bit of a fold here before inhaling back up to a seat. All right, we'll release our legs and move to all fours, stacking hips over knees, shoulders over wrists. On an inhale, we'll drop belly, lift the chest, lift the gaze. Exhale to tuck tailbone, rounding the shoulders, crown of the head reaches for the floor. Inhale, dropping the belly, cow pose. Exhale to curl, cat pose. Let's just move through a few cat cows on our own here. Really focusing on the movement in the hips and low back here. Just feeling where the edge of your range of motion is. Noticing if there is pain or discomfort at any point. Being aware of that. Not pushing too hard against it, but noticing when it's there. And then after your next round, we'll meet back in a neutral tabletop position. Keeping both hands planted on the floor. We're going to inhale, reach right toes out long behind us, keeping the leg at about hip level here, so we don't want to lift up really high, just keeping it nice and long, keeping the back nice and long, so keeping our core engaged throughout this. I'm going to inhale to lengthen through that back foot, and then exhale to open, kind of pull it out towards the side, kind of like the hand of a clock, like you're reaching towards 3 o'clock with that right foot. Inhale back to center. Exhale out to the side. Inhale to center. Exhale to open. Inhale to center. Exhale to open. Inhale back to center. And then exhale, release to tabletop. Next inhale, we'll reach left toes out long, so taking the other side. And we'll exhale to reach that left foot out towards 9 o'clock. Inhale to center. Exhale to open. Continuing, let's do 2 more of those on your own. Again, keeping the core engaged so that the lower back doesn't start to collapse down towards the ground. We want to keep our spine nice and long. Easy to do that. Inhale back to center, and we'll exhale to release back to tabletop. And then we'll tuck our toes, and then we'll exhale, send hips up and back into downward facing dog. Pedaling out the feet here, bending and straightening through the knees, settling into our first down dog. Maybe the first time today that your head has been below the level of your heart. So just giving the body a moment to adjust to that. And then finding stillness in your down dog. Pressing hips up and back. Shoulders fall away from ears. Inhale. Full exhale. Next inhale, we'll draw forward to plank pose. Exhale to drop knees for tabletop. Inhale, we're going to reach left arm and right leg out long. So opposite arm, opposite leg. Exhale to pull knee and elbow in towards center. Inhale to reach out long. Exhale for tabletop. Inhale, tuck toes, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, pull forward to plank. Exhale, tabletop. Inhale, right arm to left leg this time, reaching up long, keeping that back flat. Exhale to curl, elbow and knee in towards each other. Inhale to reach out long. Exhale, tabletop. Inhale, tuck toes, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's move through 2 more full rounds of that on your own. Taking alternate lengthening of the arm and the leg here. Letting the movement come organically. Again, letting the breath set the pace of the movement. And after your last round, we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Take 2 full deep breaths here. And on an inhale, we'll reach your right toes up towards the ceiling. And exhale to step right foot in between hands, dropping the back knee to come into a low lunge. We'll inhale, fingertips reach to the sky. And exhale to sink hips into this lunge. Couple of breaths here. Feeling an opening in the front of the left hip. Options to stay right here. Otherwise, if you want to deepen that stretch in the left hip flexor, we'll bring right hand to right hip. Inhale to lengthen through left fingertips. Then exhale to tip and bend over to the right. So we're getting a little bit of a side stretch here. And you should really start to feel that through the front of the left hip. 2 more deep breaths. Inhale, we'll meet back through center. Exhale, hands come to plant on either side of right foot. Tucking the back toe, we'll step right foot back to meet left. And then exhale to lower all the way down to the belly. Hands will come to clasp behind the lower back, interlacing fingertips. Tops of the feet press into the floor. Kneecaps lift away from the floor. On an inhale, we'll pull back through the interlaced fingers to lift chest, lift shoulders for locust pose. Gaze will come out in front of you, a foot or two. Inhale. Exhale to slowly release chest to the floor. One cheek can come to rest on the mat. Arms can come alongside you. 2 deep breaths. And then we'll set up for 1 more round of that. So bringing gaze back to center. Interlacing fingertips once again. Pressing taps to the feet so that kneecaps lift away from the ground. We'll inhale to lift and pull back through hands. Opening up the front of the chest. Full back of the body is engaged here. The backs of the legs, the muscles of the back of the torso. 1 more full breath. And exhale to release, letting other cheek fall to the mat. Thumbs can fall alongside you. 2 deep breaths. And next inhale, we'll bring hands to plant alongside the shoulders. Inhale to press through tabletop. And exhale to send hips up and back into downward facing dog once again. Inhale, left toes will lift up towards the sky. Exhale, left foot steps in between hands, coming into that low lunge once again. Right knee drops to the floor. Inhale, fingertips up towards the sky, and exhale to sink into that lunge. Feeling the opening through the right hip flexor. Once again, you can stay here if you want, and then if you want to move a little bit deeper into that front of the hip stretch, we'll bring left hand to left hip. Inhale to reach the right fingertips, and then exhale to send the upper body over to the left. One more full breath in whatever shape you have chosen. We'll inhale to meet back in center. Exhale to plant hands on the floor. Tucking back toes, sending your right or left foot back to meet the right. Inhale here. And exhale to lower all the way to the ground. From here, you're going to come to proper pose up on forearms. So coming into Sphinx pose. Option to stay right here if this feels good. If this is as far as your back bend wants to go today. Otherwise, we'll be moving through 2 rounds of half bow. And if full bow is in your practice and you would like to take that instead, you are welcome to, but I will cue you through half bow here. So to move into that, we will bend at the left knee, bring left foot up, and then reach back with right hand. So it's opposite hand to opposite foot. Grasping the left foot and keeping our left forearm firmly planted. On an inhale, we'll start to lift through that back foot, pressing hand and foot together. Using the muscles along the back of the body once again to create a lift and a lightness. One more breath. And exhale to release. And if you've taken a bow, you can come all the way down to the ground. Gently rock up the hips. Forehead can rest on stacked fists or hands. And then if you come down to the ground, we'll inhale to move ourselves back through Sphinx pose, coming up to forearms. Then start to move into the other side. So bending at the right knee, right hand reaches back, wrapping around top of the right foot. And when you're ready on an inhale, we'll start to press through that right foot, pressing the pubic bone into the ground. We'll lift into our half bow or bow. One more breath here. And exhale to release. Once again, letting forehead come to rest on hands. And gently rocking hips side to side to release the lower back. On your next inhale, we'll press through tabletop. And then send hips back to heels, knees come out wide for extended child's pose. Take a few full breaths here. Counter pose. So all of the back bending that we just did. Feeling the forehead firmly rooted into the earth. And returning to that 4-4 breath from the beginning of class. So sealing the lips. And inhaling to a count of 4. And exhaling to a count of 4. When you're ready to move on, your inhale will lift you back to tabletop. And then we'll exhale to rock back into a seated position. Once again, we'll keep right knee bent in. We'll send left leg out long, and then we'll cross the right foot over left thigh. Option 1, with legs like this. Option 2, if your hips allow it, is to bend left leg as well. Bringing the left heel in close to the right hip. From here, we'll plant right arm behind us. Inhale, left arm up overhead. And then exhale to twist over that right knee. Either bringing elbow to the outside of the knee or hugging that knee in with left arm. Whatever allows your spine to stay straight and long in this shape. Inhaling to lift through the crown of the head, and exhaling to gently twist over the shoulder. Next inhale will come through center. And then exhale to release, both legs out long. Shake out the knees a little bit. Let that go, and then we'll switch out the legs. So left foot comes to cross over right leg out straight, and if that feels okay, you can try bending. Right knee back, bringing that foot back in towards the body. That side's a little tighter for me. And then left hand plants behind your spine for support. Inhale to lift right arm. Exhale to twist. Looking elbow over knee or finding a gentle wrap around the leg. Keeping spine nice and long, reaching up towards the sky. Exhale to gently deepen the twist. Next inhale, we'll come back to center. And exhale to release both legs out long. Shaking out at the knees, releasing that shape. We'll come back to tabletop. Inhaling here, exhaling into downward facing dog for the last time today. Move into one more hip opening stretch here. Pigeon pose. So we'll inhale, right toes up towards the sky. Exhale to draw right knee in towards right elbow, bringing the shin to rest on the mat. Slowly letting hips sink towards the ground. Checking to make sure your left leg is nice and long behind you. And inhale to lift chest, coming up, adjusting hips, square on the mat before exhaling to fold over front leg. Moving into supine for a half pigeon pose, not supine. We're doing the real deal this time. deep breaths here in this intense hip opener. And then starting to slowly press yourself back upright, planting hands on the mat, tucking the back toe. You can step that right foot back into downward facing dog. And taking a moment to just pedal out the knees here, get the blood flow back through both legs. Maybe noticing a difference in how each side feels. We'll inhale, left toes up towards the sky, and then exhale to draw that left knee in towards left wrist. And bring the shin perpendicular along the mat, sending right leg out long from the floor behind us. Inhale to walk hands back and lift, adjusting hips, getting your setup in place here before exhaling to fold over left shin. And breathing into the left hip. And on your next inhale, starting to walk hands back to press yourself back upright, palms planted on the ground, and then tucking the back toes, sending left foot back into downward facing dog. Last down dog of class, pedaling out the knees one more time. Full deep inhale and full exhale out the mouth. Next inhale, we'll drop knees. And then exhale to roll onto our backs. Or actually, not rolling onto our backs. We're going to come to a seat. Plant palms of the hands right under our shoulders behind us. Keeping knees bent, soles of the feet on the floor. We're going to inhale to lift hips. reverse tabletop, opening the shoulders, opening the front of the hips. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. And exhale to lower the seat to the ground. Do two more like that. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift, engaging the back of the body, back of the legs. And exhale to lower. Now we'll come all the way onto our backs. And we'll draw right knee in towards the chest, left leg out long. Interlacing fingers around the right shin. Inhale to give that leg a nice squeeze in towards the body. And then exhale to draw left knee over to the right, coming into a supine twist. Right arm can come out long. Gaze can come over the right shoulder. Just making sure to keep both shoulders connected to the ground here. Nice inhale, we'll come back to center. And then switch out the legs. So left knee draws in towards the chest, right leg goes out long. Interlacing fingers around left shin. And inhaling to squeeze that leg in towards the chest, compressing the hip joint. And exhale to draw leg over to the right, coming into our supine twist. Again, keeping both shoulders connected to the floor. Even if that means that your left knee doesn't come all the way down. This helps protect the lower back in this twisted shape. Inhale to move back to center. And exhale to send both legs out long. Fingertips can reach up above the head. Long body stretch. And then exhale to hug both knees into the chest, curling up into a little ball. And then we'll release soles of the feet to the ground. And we'll open the knees out wide like a book. Soles of the feet come together for Supta Baddha Konasana. And here, arms can rest alongside you or in the body or come up overhead. You can stay in this shape as long as you want. When you're ready to move into Shavasana, ready to make your way into whatever shape you would like for your final resting pose. Take a traditional Shavasana with legs and arms long. You could come into that constructive rest pose that we did at the beginning of class with soles of the feet out wide, knees falling in towards each other, or any other shape that speaks to your body today for rest. And letting the body surrender to gravity. Getting out any last little movements or wiggles before finding stillness. Begin to deepen the breath. Feeling the air inflate your lungs, feeling the chest and belly rise and fall with your inhales and exhales. Start to wiggle fingers and toes, letting small movements travel to the wrists, ankles, knees, elbows, letting the head rock from side to side. And then inhaling to reach out long through fingertips and toes, extending the whole body along your mat. And then exhale to curl onto one side, coming into a little ball, resting your head on your bent arm, taking a few breaths here before gently pressing yourself back up into a seated position. Eyes can stay closed. And let's take a few collective breaths together to close out our practice today. Feeling the lips inhale deeply through the nose, drawing breath into the belly, ribs, and chest, holding at the top, and opening the mouth to sigh it out. Feeling the lips inhale through the nose, filling belly, ribs, and chest, holding at the top. And exhale out the mouth. One more. Feeling lips to breathe in through the nose, into belly, ribs, and chest. Holding one more time at the top of the inhale. Audible sigh out the mouth. Exhale everything out. Gently tucking the chin, blinking eyes open, and then lifting gaze. Bringing hands to heart center, taking a moment of gratitude for yourself, for taking time out of your day to practice yoga, for the circumstances in your life that allow you to do this, and for anyone else who may have come and joined you from their own spaces to practice with you. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend, and I hope to see you again next week.